This is a really quick and simple introduction or refresher for some of you of how to do fiber analysis using the microscope. So we're very lucky with this coverlet that all three of the warp yarns are easy for me to get some fiber. And quite literally, remember that you only need as much fiber as you can use under the microscope. So you don't even have to see it. And I hate to do this because some of you object, but you always have spit. And you can just put your little bit of fiber on the microscope slide. And glass slides work the best. Put it under your microscope. If you get your light shining through, then you can see if your fiber's in the right place. And you want the lowest power your microscope has, and the Tasco scopes from any hobby shop that have 100 power are perfectly fine. And then you want to adjust the focus. And cotton looks like a flat twisted ribbon, as though you took a soda straw and you pressed it flat and then you twisted it. And it often has some junk in the middle of it, but it should be translucent. Light should come through it. And if it's colored cotton, it may lose that color under the microscope. So we know that the white in this coverlet warp is cotton because that's how it looks under the microscope. Make sure you clean your slide well. And now I'm going to take a little bit of the red. And again, I only need the smallest amount. If you don't have fringe or something to work with, find an area where you have a tiny, tiny hole, or use some tweezers, and you just want to be sure that you're getting the right amount of fiber. Too much, you don't use a whole yarn. Too much fiber, and you won't be able to see the individual fibers. You don't want yarn, you just want a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of fiber. Put it on your scope, your slide. That's even a fair amount. Make sure that the light is coming through. Once you have a microscope set up for yourself, you don't need to make too many adjustments. Wool is cylindrical, curves nicely, and has what I like to describe as crazed pottery marks on it. People talk about the scales on wool, but don't think about fish scales. Think about seeing just a crackle pottery design over the top of this cylindrical, clear fiber. If it's colored, it will probably lose its color under the microscope. That's good. That means you probably are looking at a natural fiber with an organic dye. I do exactly the same thing for the yarns in the filling. I don't have fringe, so I'm going to have to go to an area where I have a hole, and I'm going to either take a tweezer or I'm going to take something and very gently take out just again a few very, very, very small fibers. I don't need much. You're never in a position of ruining a textile, no matter how pristine that textile is, if you need a few fibers for the microscope.